everybody is actually looking forward to owning a house.
I was very, very happy when I got the allocation for the house.
Mortgage can actually work in Nigeria.
Good evening, and thanks for joining us on another episode of the program, Everyone Deserves a Home. My name is Aisha Mohammed Ahmed. One of the mandates of the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria is to provide long-term credit facilities to mortgage institutions, which will in turn create mortgage loans to contributors of the National Housing Fund scheme. At inception, the bank provided mortgage loans for its customers through the NHF Mortgage Loan before the creation of other mortgage facilities for the benefit of more NHF contributors. The NHF Mortgage Loan is still a medium the FMBN uses to meet the housing needs of its customers. And in our episode tonight, we'll bring you details of this product and what a contributor needs to do to benefit from this product. Our regular segment of News Diary, Dream Come True, and others will make up the package tonight. The full program will begin after the short break. Stay tuned.
The management of the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, FMBN, wishes to disclaim media reports by HX Africa, Housing Exchange Africa, on a purported 40 million mortgage pre-financing scheme which referred to FMBN as a partner. The FMBN wishes to inform the general public and our esteemed National Housing Fund scheme customers, particularly Nigerians in the diaspora, that although HX Africa applied for some engagement with the bank, it has not been granted any approvals, nor has the bank entered into any formal arrangement with it. While the FMBN and NIDCOM remain committed to roll out the diaspora mortgage scheme after obtaining the necessary regulatory approvals, we will endeavor to provide official information and updates on our respective websites and social media handles to avoid the general public being misled. NIDCOM has issued a similar disclaimer on the purported HX Africa mortgage pre-financing scheme, and the general public is invited to note accordingly. Signed, Mrs. Virginia Jang, Group Head, Corporate Communications, Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, FMBN, for the management.
Welcome back. The program will begin, as always, with news highlights of major events at the FMBN and the nation's housing sector. Keep watching. The International Union for Housing Finance, IUHF, has pledged to partner with the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria to boost business so that more Nigerians will have affordable houses. Speaking during a courtesy visit to the FMBN management, the Secretary General of the IUHF, Mr. Mark Wenrich, said that the visit was to share ideas with the FMBN on ways the organization can support the bank in meeting the housing demands in Nigeria.
You rely mostly from FDIs, and someday they are depleted. So you always need to get new money. And the idea with the Housing Savings Bank is that you unlock the money of the Nigerian people, so that you have a closed funding circuit which relies basically only on the savings which you attract. And you attract this money by making campaigns, by showing the people, you have a credibility already, the Federal Mortgage Bank, by showing that it's worth to save, and maybe you can get the government to offer tax benefits or to offer even savings bonuses. And the IUHF and also the European Housing Savings Bank would also support you with technical assistance how to build it up in a sustainable way.
The Managing Director, Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, Shehu Usman Osidi, in his remarks, commended the IUHF for its commitment towards fostering international collaboration and promoting best practices among member institutions. He pointed out that the bank is embracing initiatives that will enable it to provide results.
In recognition of the enormity of the challenge faced by the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, the current executive management is embracing initiatives aimed at expanding our strategic partnerships to be able to deliver tangible results. We recognize that collaboration with global institutions like the IUHF is key to moving speedily in this direction, especially through technical assistance and capacity building programs.
Also speaking, the Executive Director, Loans and Mortgages, Sani Abdul, said the housing sector is faced with many challenges requiring collaboration to overcome.
The rate of growth is alarming, and unless and until we are able to deliver affordable houses, also we do urban renewals and we assist people to renovate their houses, and also recognizing the culture so that it's not everything that we go concrete, we will have problems. And this is where the areas of collaboration with this kind of institution, the International Union for Housing Finance, will really help us to sharpen and focus our needs, and also to have easy access to various means and ways for funding our housing schemes.
The former Executive Secretary of the Federal Government Staff Housing Loans Board, Dr. Hannatu Fika, also spoke at the occasion. She said that for the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria to reach its maximum potential, there's need for more funding.
Government must fund this institution very, very, very well, so that they can help Nigerians and so on. Because nobody will go to the bank and take a loan of how many percent? Sometimes almost 200%, not 100%. But the Federal Mortgage Bank is there to give loan to its contributors at a single digit of 6%. So we need to do everything that we can, either in government or outside government, to ensure that this, agency of government is properly funded.
The federal government is to partner the World Bank to modernize land administration in Nigeria by developing a national land digital system, NLDS, for the optimization of land transactions that would enable transparency, efficiency, and accessibility. Minister of Housing and Urban Development, Architect Ahmed Musa Engiwa, disclosed these during the meeting with state commissioners responsible for lands and housing matters at the 13th National Council on Housing, Lands and Urban Development in Gombe. Engiwa said that the digital initiative will solve the long-standing challenges currently faced in land registration, as well as boost economic activity and enhance property rights protection, with a goal of increasing formal land transactions from less than 10% to over 50% within a decade. According to the minister, the pivotal decision will tackle the challenges obstructing effective and efficient land registration in the country, adding that both parties are finalizing the operational framework and investment commitments for the initiative. Engiwa further explained that the system will serve as a comprehensive, accessible digital registry, enabling Nigerians to verify land ownership securely and efficiently, which will enhance transparency and reduce fraud. He said that the NDLS will increase investor confidence and unlock up to $300 billion in untapped economic potentials related to land and property. He also informed participants at the council meeting of the federal government's readiness to work with state government to register, document, and title all land parcels, clarifying and securing land ownership to unlock development and investment. While focusing on the government's effort to provide affordable housing for low-income Nigerians, the minister urged all commissioners to encourage their state and local government to allocate a substantial portion of their revenues to affordable housing delivery. He argued that PPPs alone cannot deliver affordable housing for the majority of Nigerians, given the high cost of private sector construction financing. Thanks for staying with us. And if you're just joining us, the program is Everyone Deserves a Home. The NHF Mortgage Loan is the pioneer mortgage facility of the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria. This product provided houses for contributors of the National Housing Fund scheme before other products of the bank were introduced. Until date, it's still a major mortgage option for NHF contributors. In our next segment, we'll examine this product, what it is, and how contributors can benefit from it. Don't go away.
The National Housing Fund Mortgage Loan is one of the products of the National Housing Fund scheme. It was used since the inception of the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria to provide mortgage credit facilities to NHF contributors. Because the mandate of the bank is to make mortgages available for its customers, this product provides finance for contributors to build, purchase, or renovate a residential accommodation with a repayment period of up to 30 years, dependent on the affordability of the customer, with an interest rate of only 6%.
Through all these construction finance windows, we are able to provide construction finance to several developers to go throughout the country to build houses for all Nigerians that are contributing to the National Housing Fund. So what happens is that when these houses are built, now anybody that's interested in this house and is a contributor to the National Housing Fund can now come to FMBN through a primary mortgage bank and now get the mortgage loan to obtain these houses. So what it means from beginning to end, primary mortgage bank is involved. It's involved in the provision of the houses, and also is involved in provision of mortgages, so that the off-takers can now use these mortgages to own their own houses.
With the improvements made by the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria for improved service delivery, the bank recently increased the loan limit of the NHF Mortgage Loan from 15 million naira and now offers a maximum loan amount of 50 million naira. This increase was necessary to enable contributors gain access to better housing options without the constraint of finances.
We realized that our maximum limit is 15 million, but we realized that with 15 million we might not be able to get a very decent house. So the bank said, okay, what can we do to help our contributors? The bank decided that, okay, let us increase our threshold to 50 million. So instead of saying that, okay, whatever house you have to buy, it has to be within the maximum of 50 million, we said now you can access up to 50 million if you have the affordability. So we feel that even with the increase in the building materials and all that, you will be able to get a very decent house at that price.
To access the NHF Mortgage Loan, contributors are required to follow some processes, some of which are: applicants must be 18 years and above, must be a contributor to the National Housing Fund for a minimum period of 6 months. Applicant must have satisfactory evidence of regular flow of income to guarantee loan repayment. Must apply through a duly licensed and accredited primary mortgage bank of choice and not directly to Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, amongst other requirements. The Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria shares a robust relationship with primary mortgage banks who are the originators of the NHF loans. This is as required by the NHF Act.
The NHF Act says that when a contributor wants to access these loans, it has to pass through a primary mortgage bank. We are a secondary mortgage institution. So when we are providing these mortgage loans, the off-taker or the subscriber will have to go through a primary mortgage bank. And this primary mortgage bank are in our website. All our accredited primary mortgage bank are in our website. So when a subscriber wants to apply, you can just check our website. You will see the accredited PMB. If you select any one of his choice, go through them with his letter of allocation, and then he gets loan packaged, and this package loan will be sent to FMBN. It will be reviewed, and then it will be approved. So in essence, the primary mortgage bank serves as an intermediary between the off-taker and the FMBN. So whatever we do is we don't deal directly in terms of NHF with the individual. We deal with the primary mortgage banks. So we give this loan to the primary mortgage bank for lending to the off-taker. So that is their function. They serve as an intermediary between the off-takers and FMBN.
So far, over 146.5 billion naira of the NHF loans have been provided to over 25,000 beneficiaries of the National Housing Fund scheme. Some challenges have been identified as limiting factors to the effective delivery of the NHF mortgage loan.
One of our major challenges is the issue of title. A lot of people have houses that they want to buy, but the house doesn't have title. And as a bank, we don't create mortgages on a house that doesn't have title. A lot of people want to build their own houses. They have their lands, but their lands doesn't have title. And we cannot give you money to build on a land that doesn't have title. And recently we went for a conference on land use and all that. So those issues were discussed. We, beg on all the governors to see how possible it is for them to be able to issue this COPs and all other acceptable titles easily, so that more people will have access to titled land and houses, and this will make it easy for people to access mortgages. So one of our major challenges is issue of title, and then another challenge we have is the issue now of affordability. Because with the recent increase in, with the recent economic situations, things are a little bit hard. People don't have so much disposable income. And if they don't have disposable income, they won't be able to access mortgages. So because of this inflation and all that, a lot of people's affordability has really gone down.
With challenges, there's need for improvement and solutions. The Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria has since begun efforts towards addressing some of the challenges limiting the National Housing Fund.
One of the most important things that the bank has done recently to make sure that mortgage creation becomes very seamless is to attach turnaround time to each process. You said, okay, if somebody sent in an application, you need to review it. There will be a turnaround time for that. It will give you, the bank will give you certain number of days that within these days you must finish your review. Then when you are sending it for approval, it will give you another time that this is the maximum number of days. So with that, the bank will be able to track the performance of the individual staff, and then you will know at what period these applications are being delayed.
As part of the efforts of the FMBN to reach a larger number of contributors, more products are in the pipeline so that the different housing needs of NHF contributors can be met.
Welcome back. It's time to take a look at the home ownership story of another beneficiary of the National Housing Fund scheme. Tonight, Mrs. Charity Joshua shares her journey and what it feels like having a place to call home. Keep watching.
I can assure all Nigerians that if you apply, once it is available, you will get.
Definitely the scheme is real.
It's a big testimony to stop paying rent.
Excellent. Seriously excellent.
It works and is real.
Mrs. Charity Joshua is a proud owner of a two-bedroom semi-detached bungalow at La Paix Estate, Karu, Abuja. Their journey to home ownership began in 2018 when her husband, who works with the Ministry of Power and Steel, was told about the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria by a colleague.
It's around 2018 in their office, a colleague of his now tell him about the estate, this thing, the mortgage bank, because we have some issues around Masaka area about this landed property. So my husband built house there, reached linter level. So after some months, we are just hoping to go and roof the place. Hopefully December we'll just pack in. So we don't even know what is going on there. One of his friends had called him, that this is what is going on, or they demolish all the place. 2018, as we heard the news all over, so I pressurized my husband to fill the form. He collected the form, we filled the form 2019. After that, we waited for, they will tell us this year, next year, they will come and video the places and show them online. We are hoping, praying that maybe one day it will come to pass. And Kuma, God has made our dream come true. Through this mortgage, now we are a landlord of ourselves. We don't have any issue about tenant, landlord issue, or any other caretaker wahala.
She's grateful to own a home to call hers. She says the home came as a birthday gift for her.
On the 31st of March, let me bring it back. That was the exactly date that my house rent will expire. So on the 1st of April was my birthday.
She has a call to Nigerians who are still doubtful of the reality of the mortgage system to embrace mortgage as a good option to home ownership.
Mortgage is real. That's all what I want to say now. Mortgage is real because it will ease you from any landlord wahala, as I've earlier said it. Because for you to be paying house rent that is not belongs to you in a nearby future, it's better for me to collect mortgage house in 10 years or 100 years, even if I was not around. Maybe by that time I have already gone. My children will enjoy it. That's my advice for Nigeria. For you to sit down for tenantship, it's better for you to collect mortgage, to be paying small. By time goes on, you pay all and the house will be yours.
Mrs. Charity commends the developer on the quality delivered.
I was not even expecting this, because some history they will tell you say it's only the blocks and small cement they will mix it, and if you just carry nail and knock it, the thing will just enter inside. But here, as we call myself to knock our television mice, another thing, we just be doing new things. We just have to call this carpenter that has through to come and do the work for us, because even now if you check my curtains, the nail cannot enter. It's this screw, this thing that they will tight it with the nail. So that's it. The quality is all right.
The repayment arrangement for them is suitable.
We are paying quarterly payment, because before, like, let me say, from that April that we entered this house to this month, my husband have paid last month, and he did not even complain to me, because he said for him to be paying that amount for our house rent, it's better for him to be paying, even if it is monthly, for him to be paying that amount is okay for him, than for him to be paying that amount in a rented house.
Mrs. Charity Joshua commends the FMBN and the developer of the estate for the wonderful initiative which has fulfilled her dreams of owning her home.
That's the much we can take on this edition of the program. Just like Mrs. Charity, you too can encourage someone to give mortgage a trial. And if you're looking to also benefit from the NHF scheme, start by logging on to our website on www.fmbn.gov.ng or visit any of our offices in any of the locations near you. Until I come your way again, it's bye for now.